welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing well, guys. So I'm here at the office, guys. It is after 10 p.m. but I wanted to come on here and let you guys know that I passed AHIP. That's not what I came to tell you guys. I passed 100, but you know, this ain't about me. So anyways, this video is how can you pass AHIP on the first try 2023 edition. Now, I already did a video on AHIP. If this is your first time doing AHIP, I highly recommend that you watch the last video that I did. I'm going to leave the link right here. Watch this video first and then watch that video, guys. So that video gives you really great tips on how to use the resources and AHIP all year round. So definitely watch this video. This video is going to be more focused on making sure that you pass AHIP on the first try and how to do your certifications like a pro, okay? Certifications can be very daunting and a little stressful, but I have a system that I use that makes it so much easier. So I'm going to show you guys my system. But first, let's talk about how I passed AHIP with 100% on the first try, and you can do the same thing. So before we get started, I need you to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Like this video. I know you guys are going to like this video. So anyways, how did I pass AHIP on the first try? Just to let you guys know, if you did not know, AHIP is broken into 5 different modules, right? So the first 3 modules, you could pretty much just read it and get through it. Now the last 2 modules, you really want to pay attention to the last 2 modules this year on AHIP if you know you've done AHIP before, because there's some few changes. So definitely pay attention to the last 2 modules. AHIP is broken into 5 different modules, and after each module you have a final quiz. And if you didn't know, if you combine all of those quizzes, that is your final exam on AHIP. So AHIP is going to consist of 50 questions for your final exam, and you are timed. So you really want to know the quiz questions, because if you know the quiz questions, honey, you will pass that test with flying colors. So you don't want to just do the quiz and move on. No, you need to know those answers, write them down, do what you have to do. So let me show you guys. I can't show you guys my notes, but I'll show you guys one note that I wrote down, because I don't want no one flagging this video. Then CMS gonna be like, you guys take that video down. AHIP gonna say take it down, because I have all of the secrets. So let me show you. So these are all of my notes from AHIP, and these notes transfer to all of the questions in the final exam. So let me show you how I did my notes. So each notes, I broke it down by module. So for example, this is all of the notes for module 1. All right, so when I get to the quiz for module 1, I write everything down because I'm crazy. All right, but I do it very simple, right? Very simple. I'm not writing everything down from word. I'm pretty much shorthanding this. So it says module 1 on the top, and the first one says Mrs. Turner. So why did I write Mrs. Turner? Because that is my keyword. My keyword is Mrs. Turner. So when I take my final exam and I see Mrs. Turner, I already know what the answer is, because I knew what the answer was on the quiz. You following me? So what is the answer? So I start with the first sentence, right? The first few words of the answer. Original Medicare covers ... because I'm not writing everything down. Then I says ambulance services. So when I take my test and I see Mrs. Turner and I see ambulance services, that is the answer for that question. Did I cheat? No, these are my notes. These are my notes. So of course I did not cheat. This is how you ensure that you pass AHIP. So like I said, after every module, when you do your quiz, make sure you take great notes. Make sure you know the answers to those quizzes, because at the end, that, my dear, is your final exam. So that's how you pass AHIP on the first try. Now let's talk about how do you do your certifications like a pro. Now before we talk about how you do certifications like a pro, I'm just going to go ahead and mention what I said in the first video. You can use AHIP as a resource throughout the year by printing all of the information that you learned when you were studying and put those in a binder. So that way, when someone asks you a question, maybe you don't remember, you can go back and reference to your binder and you know the rules, the regulations, what is required for marketing, and all of that good jazz. So that's how you use AHIP as a resource throughout the year. Now let's talk about how do you contract like a pro and just get rid of some of that anxiety and stress when it's time to do your contracting. So I'm a Capricorn. You probably already know. I am a little crazy and I like to be organized. So, okay, so here's my check off list, and I will show you guys the list so you can create it yourself. This is my check off list for contracting. So I have 3 different columns. I have the first column for AHIP. It says AHIP 2023, and it has the date that I completed AHIP. And I check off that box because AHIP is done. Okay? Finished. Done. And then I have my other 3 columns. The first column has the carrier name. I don't say carrier names on my channel, but I'll go ahead and show you guys this because I think this is very beneficial to go ahead and copy this. Okay? So the first column has the carrier name. So what do I do with that first column? So when I get that contracting in my email, I go ahead, I open it, I do the contracting. What's going to happen is once I'm done with that, they're going to do a background check on me. So that is the first box that I checked. Once I get that email, I did the contracting, boop, check that box. Now the second column is if I did the actual certification. So once the certification is actually complete, right, I may get an email from that carrier that says, hey, you can now do your certification. And if I don't get an email, I will call them and say, hey, can I go ahead and start my certification? When they say yes, I go log in to that carrier site or whatever site that is required to do the certification. Once I'm done with that certification, then I go ahead and put in a check because that certification is complete. Now the third column is what is my writing number and what is my ready to sell status. So you want to make sure you have ready to sell status and your writing number. Once you have that done and complete, you would check off that box. Now your certification is done. So once you get your writing numbers by either calling the insurance company or they may send you an email and let you know what your writing number is, store it in a safe place. You could put it on index cards, that's what I do, or you could store it in a spreadsheet. So how do you actually manage this, right? So at the bottom of the page there, you will see that I have all of the broker hotline carrier numbers for each insurance carrier that I am contract with, and I would just simply call them if I haven't gotten an email or whatever the case may be. I'll call and say, hey, you know, I did the certification. Am I ready to sell? What is my writing number? Of course, if you already have a writing number from the previous year, it would be the same writing number. But if this is your first year, then you need to know what is your writing number, because all of your writing numbers will go on your application. And when you call the carrier hotline for help, they're going to ask you what is your writing number. All right? So yeah, guys, that is how I organize myself when I do my contracting. And yeah, that's how I passed AHIP on the first try for 2023 with a 100 score. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if this video helped you or not. I'm sure it did, so let me know it did. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you, yes, you, on the next video. I'm going home now. Bye.